Hey everybody, welcome to One Up to Nerd. My name is Frankie.
And I'm Kevin.
And you're watching our holiday special.
Oh, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, that's what we're calling it. So if you like the show, make sure to like, subscribe, and have those notifications on so you know when we post awesome stuff. Thanks a lot. Have we talked about the Into the Spider-Verse?
We talked about it a couple episodes ago, just as a thing that was happening.
It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Okay.
It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And I'm super excited to see it. I was talking to Kenny over at Nuclear, and he's pumped. I'm pumped. I think a lot of the people who have seen the animation style, who know a little bit about sort of the Spider-Verse, the Gwen Stacy spider, the Miles Morales spider. Those are really fun characters. And it's funny that Michael B. Jordan's come up twice now on the podcast, but I did read that he's being eyed for that role as a Miles Morales, and which is interesting because of course he's Killmonger, but there's plenty of people who have been multiple heroes. I mean, especially look at Chris Evans. Michael B. Jordan's been two already. He was the Flame Boy in Fantastic Four. He's also been Killmonger, and I think you know what? I don't care if he would be a great Miles Morales. I would love to see him be a Spider-Man.
Are they doing a live action Into the Spider-Verse?
I think they're going to set it up because
I don't think
so Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to be five films, right? So.
He's done two already.
He's done two. Yeah, we're going to have 5 standalone Spider-Man movies. And then the 5th one is when we see him sort of take on the full role of Spider-Man. That's like
when
the
he's
full,
an adult.
Full force of Spider-Man. But it might also be the end of him, too, as a character, as who is playing that character. Because we're just gonna. I think there's no sight end to the character itself. But
I think Michael B. Jordan will be too old at that point. Like if they transition into like a Spider-Verse spin-off,
right. Yeah.
I would just
love to see it. I mean,
3 years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, that would have been cool. But as Killmonger, I heard that they were maybe doing thinking about doing a spin-off. He was, I think, in that interview that you're talking about. The interviewer asked him like, "Oh, would you do a Killmonger?" Because he also came out and said like how big of an impact that film.
He said Killmonger could take on Thanos by himself, and I was like, "Come on, bro."
Oh, I don't know about that,
yeah,
but no, he was saying like as an actor, that role was really difficult for him, and it took him months to get out of that character because of like the place that he had to go to play that part.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a really good actor,
yeah.
But it sounded like he would never think about doing another role, and he's like, "I'd be open to another one." Which would be interesting. I don't know how they would do it.
I don't know either. I mean, he died.
Maybe it would be his origin story.
Maybe
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Come on.
It came out a year ago, bro. So I saw Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Didn't.
Man, I was about it.
I thought it was pretty. People were pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't knock your socks off.
Yeah.
I mean,
neither was the first one.
I really loved the first one.
It was good.
I loved the first one. So I mean, I can't.
That's a Disney one, right? Not a Pixar.
It is
Disney.
It is Disney.
Yeah.
Can you double check? Because now I'm curious. But yeah, I mean, the part that we all wanted to see and saw is what they showed in the trailer, which is the what's her face with all the Disney princesses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, is that like the very beginning?
No, it's not. It's right smack dab in the middle. But
Disney.
It is Disney. Yeah. So that you see that and it's like, okay, cool. And that's what you really wanted to see was all those princesses.
You wanted to see all the princesses.
Yeah.
In the
room? I got 2 little girls and they were excited about
it.
So I think it's kind of iconic. It was the first time that all the Disney princesses have been on. On a feature film at the same time.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think it's
has that been a Disney trivia?
It is.
Frankie dropping some Disney trivia on One Up to Nerd.
There might be. So maybe that's a little bit of history being made. I mean, those are iconic characters who have helped build Disney. So I think to say it's not important is kind of I don't agree. But it was good. It was good. To me, it kind of sums up with just, hey, these characters aren't communicating well. Really,
isn't that every movie?
If you would have just communicated with her a little bit better, and he would have communicated with him a little bit better, we wouldn't have a movie. This would have been long done.
I think that's every movie.
The 30-minute mark. Yeah.
Was that the lesson to your kids afterwards? You're like, so did you see what happened? Like, if they just would have communicated, it would have all been fine.
I do want to play the game that she ends up in, though. It's like a MMO that she's in like a Grand Theft Auto kind of. Yeah. And she's so without too many spoilers or anything at all, giving anything away. She just really enjoys playing in that game.
Yeah.
You know, because you get to steal cars and race and stuff like that, and so she's like that's what she does. Not does steal, but she races, and so she loves that element of the game that she's in. So it's a good movie, especially if you have kids. It's totally worth checking out.
Cool.
So yeah.
So the new Avengers trailer and the new Captain Marvel trailer have been released since we last recorded.
Yeah, we're supposed to get the Spider-Man trailer too, but it hasn't dropped yet.
For what's the new movie called for Spider-Man?
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah.
And I had said that I wasn't really interested in Captain Marvel. Like the couple trailers that I had seen were kind of meh. This trailer got me pretty excited.
This trailer looks awesome.
I'm not super sold on like the Mohawk helmet thing that like auto covers her head. That's a little like it doesn't look bad, but I'm just like, is that really the like?
I think
the look that you're going for.
I think it looks awesome.
I mean, it's standard on the different outfits that race has. You know, whatever she's associated with. But I got pumped. I know she is, but like,
she's
the group that she's part of. The other warrior that was shown that looked like her had that same hairstyle. Skrull.
Yeah.
Skrull?
No, there's the Kree and the Skrull.
Skrull.
Skrull. Believe. Double check.
Skrull.
But Skrull. But I
got pumped.
The Kree. So there's a lot of stuff like talk about where Avengers goes after this one already, you know, and one of the bigger comic book story arcs that include the Avengers is Secret War. You know, so the Kree are this shape-shifting race. And that's why in the trailer you see the grandma. She's a shapeshifter, right? And so that you know, and so she is kind of like your Marvel version of Green Lantern, right? She's part of like a galactic police force kind of deal, and she's super powerful. She's the strongest character in the Marvel universe,
right?
So,
because she's half human,
or I don't know, yeah. But honestly, the trailer for the second trailer that came out, the one that just came out most recently, I guess it's the second one. I thought that was better than the Avengers trailer. If I watch them side by side, I preferred the Captain Marvel trailer over the Avengers trailer.
They're at a different point.
Sure, 100% agree.
I think the Avengers trailer, it didn't live up to that like action, like hero building, like I want to see what this person can do. Like that was sort of what the Captain Marvel trailer was about. And the Avengers trailer was much more like the saga continues. Like,
okay,
this is where they're at. They're like, you need to come back. And I like, you know, the intro scene that they show, you know, with Tony Stark sitting in the spaceship, like without air, and he's talking to his helmet, which is, you know,
we're gonna get Pepper in like a rescue suit. 100%.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I think so. Super curious where it's going to go.
I think I saw some concept art for it, actually.
Thanos' armor that's getting like rebuilt, or I don't know what was happening.
That's an homage. No, that's an homage to Thanos hanging his armor up, and it's like a scarecrow on his farm. Yeah, and there's an homage to that image in the comics, in the Avengers Thanos comic series, and. Yeah, it should be really, really interesting. I'm excited to see how it wraps.
Because Hawkeye comes back.
But
he's Ronin?
He's Ronin, right? So this is a really great character to talk about for a minute here. You know, Hawkeye, Clint, right? His whole but like what we learn a lot about him in Ultron is his family, right? Because we go to the farm and we find out about this character who, wow, Clint has a family, and he fucking loves his family.
Yeah,
he'll do anything for his family. We're sort of left to assume that the family went snap, right, gone, and I think that's where we're gonna see a little bit of a broken Clint, right? Now,
it's a 50% chance that they're gone.
50% chance, right? So, but in the comics, Clint, it's a little bit convoluted because they've combined a couple story arcs together to kind of create what we're going to see on film. But
MCU,
yeah, in the MCU. But with the superhero act that they talked about in Civil War, right? Clint writes his name down on that paper, and sort of that sort of agreeing to sort of walk away or to be sort of monitored, but he takes on the persona as Ronin, so that he's not sort of under that microscope. And in part that's part of it. That's part of one of the stories that they used, or that they're using, because in that story, he then goes as Ronin to Japan to hunt down some of the Yakuza, which is interesting because the Yakuza is a big part of our Iron Fist and Daredevil story arcs, right? Because that leads to the Hand. Now, I don't think the Hand is part of this at all, but I think we're gonna see. You
don't think Ronin's like as an operative of the Hand coming to like infiltrate the Avengers?
No, I think no. If anything, Clint is acting as Ronin. I think we're gonna just get like a little nod to the Yakuza. Like he's gonna be like, I'm hunting down these worthless whatevers, and there's this guy called the Hand, and they all kind of like wave their hand at it, like no big deal. We need your help with Thanos. But if in the trailer, he turns back and you look at the camera, and you could see the like how worn he is in his face a little bit, especially at least in my opinion. I looked at him and was like, dude, you went through some shit.
Oh, I didn't look that closely at it. It was a super brief moment, and if anything, I just saw that he's aged as an actor. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I didn't look at it that closely.
Maybe, but I think if you just lost your wife and your 2 kids,
if he did,
and that was your world.
I mean, maybe he lost his wife, but his kids are still there. Like. Or vice versa. You never know.
That doesn't. No, just because it's 50%. Just because 50%, then those 3 people. Just that doesn't.
I know that's not how or probability works, but
that's what you're hanging your hat on.
Well, I'm saying that it's not necessarily guaranteed that he lost his family.
Not guaranteed.
Yeah.
If I had to make a prediction, though, I'm going to say that he lost his family.
I mean, if that's why he's back,
I think it's a likely.
He's got to go and get his family back. Like that's why he came to help.
Yeah.
And he signed his name Hawkeye, so now he's Ronin. He's okay.
Well, I'm just telling you what happened in the story. So, but anyways, the Avengers trailer looked fantastic. I'm totally pumped to see the second trailer. What else? Oh,
Fantastic Beasts. So you saw it, or I saw it first, and I kept my commentary back, and then you saw it, and we talked about it a little bit before the show. I don't know, last week or whenever it was. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I really did.
No hang-ups, no issues, nothing.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are talking about some of the continuity issues, how the timeline matches up and stuff like that. I think what we.
But you didn't have any issues. You everything about it you liked.
I didn't ever said that.
Okay.
But I liked the movie. I liked the story, and I think what we know about anything in the nerd world is that time can be manipulated. And if we're talking about timeline issues, I'm almost like we could retcon the shit out of this all day to make it work. You know what I mean? So, it's a little bit interesting that the main twist in the end. I mean, are we gonna put it out there or no?
Spoilers. Turn it off if you haven't seen Fantastic Beasts and you're interested in it. Otherwise, just keep listening.
This is the entire point of the movie here, is what we're going to say. So if I'm going to put this out, if you're still listening, then it's your fault.
1, here we go.
The fact that our main character, what's his name? I'm blanking. The kid.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller. The actor's name is Ezra. He's a Dumbledore.
Yeah.
He's a Dumbledore. And I think it's awesome. I think it is cool. And I think I can't wait to see how it gets explored.
So I didn't love the movie as much. I wanted to, and I could see the parts there, but if anything, my hang up was that it should have been 2 movies at least,
really?
If not 3. Like
why?
they packed and rushed through so much of like the main like pivots that some of these characters went through, and they gave them enough of a.
You want to give me an example?
What's the love interest that charms the human the nomad
the muggle the
nomad some kind of not penny.
I don't know. You're the one with the computer. You're gonna be looking.
I don't want to look it up while we're talking. But anyways, like she goes from being this like super loving, caring person to like. The movie opens with her having charmed her love interest because he
won't
marry her, which she doesn't want her to break her vows, whatever. And then Grindelwald comes along.
Okay, well, so here's the hang up. What I don't understand about this is because why don't they just move to the UK where
Yeah.
it's seemingly like
I
that's
don't know.
legal?
Like, there's just all kinds of weird
You're in
things.
America, so you guys can't get married.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move and
then-
get married.
and
But I
then,
mean, at the same time, though, there have been issues with that in real life.
Yeah.
Where it's like, why don't you just go get married somewhere else?
and then
that sucks. No.
And then I wish that they spent more time building this world like they did the Harry Potter universe. And like they're the same world, but what is implied in the Harry Potter series by Voldemort's coming to power and like bringing almost apocalypse to the wizarding world is like this major shift and transition from this pre-Voldemort world, which is what Fantastic Beasts is. And there's so much going on, the circus and like the different politics, the fact that there's now multiple magic like communities in each country.
But
like
I wanted
what we went from 1 to 2 to like 5. Like,
well, I mean, they all existed at all times.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
going to imagine that they just like magically appeared. Haha. But
but anyways, I'm super excited for the next movie.
So here's the thing with Voldemort that makes him a great villain is that there was a mystery behind him, right? It was like
There still is.
your fear for what you can't like see, but is there, right? Grindelwald is a great villain because he's right in front of you. And he's still performing these acts of evil, and I think with that,
Are they evil?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Is you kind of get caught into this Thanos kind of like I'm doing it for good, and when you start romanticizing, fucking ethnic cleansing, really.
Killing half the universe is bad.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care how you look at it, but
Grindelwald's doing
Grindelwald's
the
speech,
same thing, right? I mean, he's just talking about basically rising to power, and
he's talking about freeing people from these archaic restrictions that their magic governments have placed on them,
right.
Which is not necessarily inherently bad,
right?
Like,
No, it's
just
very
like
anti-tyrannical.
You love
but
whoever you want to love. You be with whoever you want to be. Like,
okay.
You embrace your who you are, right?
Okay.
Whereas Voldemort was just straight out evil. Like, he just wanted to take over and kill all these people and destroy the world and rule it. Like,
but Voldemort, to me, I don't like the I'm a bad guy. It's like that's how I felt every time Voldemort came on the screen. It was just like I'm a bad guy. I'm gonna do bad stuff. And Grindelwald has that that sort of Lucifer kind of where it's swag and it.
you mean like the Devil's Advocate Lucifer?
No, I'm just talking about how I always just picture the devil and how the devil can manipulate you without you even knowing it, and just kind of sneak in behind the lines and say things to you that make you think that it isn't bad, and it just, and then you see it in the character that we just. God, I wish you would have looked it up. Yeah, you should look it up while we're talking. So, she's just completely under his spell, and there's no spell at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Queenie.
You're close. So yeah, I think when you look at Queenie and what Grindelwald's able to accomplish with her, it's just totally just under the radar, and she's hooked.
Well, because there's something really interesting about that is like he took away the sin,
right?
In her,
he freed her, right?
Which is a really powerful thing. That
Totally.
that is why she chose to go that way. Is because like in his world she wasn't wrong, right? Like anyways, like yeah. So you were saying. Grindelwald being like the better villain or something like that.
I mean, if you give me 5 or it's gonna be 3 more Fantastic Beast movies.
Yeah, I think so.
And you get to, I get a chance to see Johnny Depp portray Grindelwald 3 more times. I think at the end of it, we're gonna see. I'm just gonna put. I think that I may, when it's all said and done, think that Grindelwald is a better villain than Voldemort. I think I just have this feeling.
Better thematically or more powerful, like in comparison?
Oh, I think he's way more powerful than Voldemort. Oh,
I think so.
He's way more. Yeah, I think he's way more powerful than Voldemort. Voldemort can take over a school. Let's put it that way.
No, Voldemort took over the world.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He changed the world.
Nah.
The impact of Voldemort's evil was much grander than what so far Grindelwald's has been.
He couldn't. No, he didn't even take. He couldn't even conquer Hogwarts.
Well, so Harry Potter took place.
I love. Have you seen that meme though? Have you seen the meme that's like, the Emperor took over a galaxy and ruled for 100 years. This and that. Voldemort couldn't take over a school.
No, I didn't.
I mean, if you think about it, he really, if anything, had control. If he had control at all for however long Harry was around. I mean,
he came to power before Harry, like when Harry was born or around that time.
It was only a few years though, and then he was gone. Right? So
he faced Harry and
all the Horcruxes
love,
and
whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't think. I think when you talk about Dumbledore and Grindelwald as being these sort of two most iconic wizards in the lore
so far,
and then to sort of throw Voldemort in the conversation. I mean, I think Dumbledore on his best day, on one of his worst days, could have been a match for Voldemort. Dumbledore could have been a match for Voldemort on his worst day. And we're going to see Grindelwald and Dumbledore in their prime go at it? Pff, dude, no way.
Well, I mean, no way. Dumbledore kind of won, though, through his scheming. Like,
he did.
He died, but he won, right?
He won. He beat him with the
best,
brain.
Yeah, he's the best wizard.
He's 100% is.